Guys, have you tried Vite Ramen? I love these noodles. They're high in protein and fiber, which is nice, but most importantly, they taste delicious. Now, these guys have another product to get excited about, Naked Nudes. These are high-protein noodles that make up the base of Vite Ramen and now are sold as a separate product. Naked Nudes by Vite Kitchens has 23 grams of high-quality plant-based complete proteins, more fiber than 2 cups of broccoli, and they're loaded with B vitamins and iron. Naked Nudes were created with the approval of registered dietitian nutritionists because eating healthy should be effortless and delicious. If you're looking for instant protein, instant nutrition, and instant satisfaction, give Vite Ramen a try today. Visit viteramen.com/Chael or just click on the link below. Do not forget to use the promo code Chael at checkout. That's going to give you free shipping in the US and 10% off. How do you get Justin Gaethje back to a world title fight? I got asked this. And I was basically coming from the spot of he's lived that life. That portion of Justin's life, whether it was the contender, whether it was the undisputed, whether it was the interim, that part of his life is behind us. But it's not because I want it to be. I'm just making a prediction. I'm seeing how he's getting placed on cards. I am seeing talk and belief in people thinking his best days are behind him, but I don't know how we get there. Look at what he's done. Look at the incredible work that he's done. We want to get Benny a title shot, right? Would you like to see Justin and Benny? But would you like to see Justin and Benny from a standpoint of, whoa, that would be a back and forth battle? I would too, but we're getting ready to put Benny in there. In fact, we want to put Benny in there. In fact, we're arguing and fighting that Benny should be in there. But just that, just me proving that, proves that we shouldn't quite dismiss Gaethje. Now let's take this from Gaethje's standpoint. Justin, what would you like to do? Guess what Justin said? He said, I want to fight Dustin. Talking about Poirier. Now, when Gaethje gave this answer, it struck me that he wasn't ready for the question. It struck me, I think he went to the press conference to talk about what he just did, to talk about Fedzayev, to talk about the big win. I don't think he was ready to get... So when he says Dustin Poirier, I'm just sharing with you, Gaethje might give us a different answer today. But I want to take it from this perspective because he even said, I've already fought him, right? He's not the champion. He stated a few reasons on his own that fight didn't make the most sense, but was ultimately what he said. Now, my question to you is, let's get it back to a title fight. Beating Dustin Poirier, of course, you could argue, it automatically makes you number one contender. We understand that. What if Justin Gaethje, what if we put him into the batter's box? We make him the alternate fighter for what Islam's going to do next, which we haven't been told, but we as a community believe Islam's going to sit and he's going to take on the winner of Oliveira Darush. So let's just operate on that assumption, okay? So wherever that title's being defended, that's what we hold Gaethje for. Gaethje comes into a backup spot. Sooner or later, that backup guy is going in, right? I mean, the mojo and the odds are starting to lean pretty good to the backup guy. Eventually, he's going to get to go in. That would get him in. And now hear me out on something else. It's never been told to us why, at times, we have a backup fighter. We are probably right with our guess of the significance and the importance of making sure a division moves on. That night, that specific night, we didn't make sure that division moves forward. So it appears that those are the times when we grab a backup fighter, we put him in. But we've never actually been told that, guys. And as much as we think that that's true, can we agree that the backup fighter comes out for big fights? For nights where we don't have time for BS. We got a lot of eyeballs on us. We're going to deliver to the audience to the best of our ability. Can we agree on that? Because I have a suggestion for you. This is mine. I'm alone. But why don't we use Gaethje? Why don't we consider, while we're considering making him in a backup position for what Islam does next, why don't we consider putting Gaethje in that exact same spot for Chandler McGregor. I think that would solve a ton of problems. And I get pushed back on anytime I suggest a backup athlete that could draw him into a match that he's already had. And I don't know why I get pushed back on. We do rematches in this sport all the time. And we like rematches in the sport. We ask for rematches in this sport. So the fact that Gaethje's already been in there with Chandler should not disqualify Gaethje from going to a backup position for Chandler versus McGregor. That's a massive fight. There's going to be a lot of buildup. There's going to be a huge crowd that's coming out. And the crowd for Chandler and McGregor is not expecting a world championship to be resolved. They're not expecting for a division to have some clarity. They're expecting a hell of a good fight. They are expecting some fireworks. They are expecting back and forth. They're expecting two competitors that are going to bring everything they got. That sounds a lot like Justin Gaethje. I really think that Gaethje needs to be considered for some of those spots. I'm not going to hold Gaethje to his challenge of Dustin because I don't think he meant it. I don't think he planned it. I think he's a legit tough guy that only calls out legit tough guys, which he succeeded in by saying Poirier's name. But I think there's better ways, and I think there's other ways. I think the backup position is coveted. I think that the UFC is making that clear. How do you get somebody to go to work on a day where they might not be needed? In any industry, how do you do that? How do you do it? Look at what Colby Covington just went through. If he was going to be thrown in, he was going to be thrown in on 1 day's notice, and he was going to be thrown in between one of two trained killers. It's a hard thing to say yes to. There's nothing that comes with it. Colby Covington woke up yesterday morning and got on an airplane with his bag. Nothing happened. There was no press tour. There was no media tour. There's a little thank you that he then gets to spread around the coaches that got him ready. How do you get him to do that? Well, the way you do it is without saying it, without putting it in writing, without come out making it known. You start to elevate the guy that did that so the next guy can see it. You have Usman in a backup position, but down the road you give Usman a title shot so the boys can see it. So then when a guy like Michael Chandler gets a phone call and says, yeah, I'll go to a different country, I'll do the backup spot, which no one may know about and I won't get put in, but then you give Chandler world title opportunity. The guys start looking around, they start to see it. So then you call on a guy like Colby, who even though you're not promising anything, he's kind of looking around and he's saying, hey, this is a pretty good spot. And you incentivize it. And it looks like that's where we're going to go with Colby as well. So I just for you, once you start seeing this precedence, once you start seeing that the history's pretty good, you start to see where those positions are valuable. And I just think in this case, when you're looking to what do for Gaethje, or Gaethje's looking to what he's going to do for himself. And he's got two beautiful opportunities. And I think being the reserve fighter comes with some massive rewards, and he should consider it.